From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live. And this might be probably the last show of the week because I head out to Vegas tomorrow, and when I'll be traveling when it's about time to do the show and everything like that. And I have an obligation to the final presser for Manny Pacquiao. Now is Yordenis Ugas, but we all were looking forward to the Spence Pacquiao fight. But you know what? A fight is a fight, and you know what? Yordenis Ugas is a very, very worthy opponent as well, too. So a lot of people do have to understand that part about the situation as well. So, you know, I'm excited about it because I think Yordenis has a big shot to possibly pull off a big upset, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people were kind of sleeping on him a little bit. But you know what? It's going to be a great fight. Manny is a great champion, and this is exactly what, you know, pretty much what the people, what the WBA is happy about, because you know what, both guys are claiming the WBA World Championship, so this is a pretty good fight in that regard. And you know what, everybody knows that Ugas was supposed to be a possible opponent for Errol Spence, but it didn't work out that way because, you know, Errol went after the big money fight, which was with Manny Pacquiao. Then the unfortunate injury occurs, and now Manny is fighting Ugas, and Ugas is now fighting in the biggest fight of his life, the fight that he wanted, that he's been wanting his whole career, and this is going to be an epic moment. I get a lot of Rocky vibes here, but it's not really a Rocky situation either. To be honest with you, it's more of a, you know, guy comes in late replacement, and you know how Manny started his big move to the top. He knocked out a guy as a replacement. So this is a big night. This is a big fight, and hopefully you guys do tune in for it as well still too. But let's go ahead and jump into our topics in hand on the show today. And we have the Wolves moving on from Culver, former top 10 pick out of Texas Tech, with the trade to the Grizzlies for Pat Beverly. So that team is trying to bolster up their defense a little bit, bring in a good veteran and everything like that. Jared Culver never played to the potential that most thought he was going to play to, because it just wasn't good timing. And once again, the Wolves selected players in the same position for about a decade. So this is something where he just didn't follow through on what he was supposed to be. Now he's in Memphis, and hopefully he can go ahead and develop there, because Memphis has seemed to save some careers here in the NBA as well. So that's something good to look at as well too. But at the end of the day, though, Culver, as I told people before, he was a zero star going into his senior year and everything like that. He was found by Coach Bird and pretty much was molded into a pretty good player, because Texas Tech wound up being a very good tournament team the year that he was drafted, but that didn't necessarily warrant that he was ready for the NBA. And I think that Culver, it gets a fresh start here in Memphis, and this should be good for him. But I'm just bringing it up because I hate to see that these guys who get picked in the top 10 wind up, you know, just falling to the wayside, especially when they come out as freshmen and things of that nature, and just don't want to listen on the part of maybe just staying back a little bit. But Culver, you know, you're still young. You should have a little bit more time, but it's crazy to see that just 2 years removed from his big moment, 2-3 years removed from his big moment, and they've moved on. And it is what it is at the end of the day. So, pretty much that's what the Wolves are doing there. The Wolves are actually trying to put themselves together to get themselves they're looking at that AFC this year. They're trying to build something here with Cat and D'Angelo and the young rookie as well too, the young boy as well too, Anthony Edwards. So this should be something huge for this team moving forward. And you know what? If you're a Wolves fan, you should be excited because now you got a leader. You got a guy who's going to play some defense for you as well too, and Pat Beverly. And then you just get the unneeded minutes off your roster as well too. So it is what it is at the end of the day. I think that this is going to wind up being a very, very good look for this team as well. And I think that it will work out for the Wolves when it's all said and done when making this trade like this. And I think that they may be, showing that they could be the AFC this year in the playoffs as well too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. They played great basketball at the end of the year last year as well too. A lot of people didn't mention that, but they did. All right, so we move on, and Lakers Nets are going to be playing in the Xmas Showcase game, the 2:30 game that's on ABC. So it's going to be a big deal. You got the Lakers, and the Lakers will be the host of the game as well too. So as usual, two best teams in the NBA or two most hyped teams in the NBA will be meeting up with each other to go at it here, and it should be a good little spot for everybody who's going to be involved in that game as well too. I know there's going to be a lot of coverage for that game as well too, leading up to it as well. A lot of people are already anticipating a possible Lakers Nets final as well too. So there's a lot of things working in that regard. And the NBA, is trying to make sure that they do accommodate the fans as well too with a great game like that one. So I look forward to it. I think that it should be a big moment and a big night for everybody that's involved. And I think that all in all, this should really be something that a lot of us look into and say to ourselves that, hey, this is the sign of the times. You got two of the better teams in basketball going at it with two of the biggest stars in basketball going at it. And then the storyline that you have in the game with former teammates and blase. And it just all works out kind of well here, and I think it should be a lot of things to really dig deep into as well, because bringing in Westbrook is huge for the Lakers at this point because he gives them another superstar to go with, two guys that are seen as two of the most dominant players in the league. So it's just going to be all about who wants it more at the end of the day, in my opinion. I think that's what it's all about. And we'll see. That's all I can say right now is that we'll see. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about the New York Jets. The New York Jets coming in this year with a over under 6 wins this year as well. They got the new coach Salah who's stepping in and really embracing the moment and everything like that in a sense. And then you have their quarterback, Wilson, the rookie, a guy who kind of shined at BYU just a little bit. He did real well at BYU, but the thing is, though, he wasn't really playing against much because BYU is an independent school, and they played against a lot of teams this year that they would have been able to smack, that they smacked. It's that simple. And they lost a big game to Coastal Carolina of all teams. So it kind of showed that the kid is good, but maybe he might not be NFL ready, but but the time was now because, if he would have stayed another year, they would have been able to reveal his flaws, and then he falls to the 4th, 5th round. So he has to take advantage of the draft grade that's given to him in a draft that didn't evaluate quarterbacks as well as they could have. You know what I mean? I know Justin Fields is really good. I know that Trevor Lawrence is really good as well too. Trey Lance was a good quarterback over in the FCS section of college football. But Wilson was a question mark. Mac Jones is a really good quarterback as well, too, but he played with some of the most talented players in the nation. So you really have to see if he's really, really built to be an NFL quarterback, because most Alabama guys don't do that well at the quarterback position in the NFL. Last name an Alabama quarterback that had some real success in the NFL over the last since just pretty much point blank in the history of the NFL. I really can only name one, and I wasn't even around when he was playing. That's Joe Namath. So we'll see how it goes. The Jets defense is going to be the key to them winning anything this year. They still have some studs on that defensive side. They still have the draft picks that they picked up for the last few years as well too in the trenches. So if they're able to get some good pushes out of their defense, meaning getting some good turnovers at the right time and everything like that, this team could be a possible team that can mess up your money on Sundays. You know what I mean? If they're the dog or anything like that. And if they're a favorite, they can mess your money up as well too by being mediocre. So you have to be able to. So with the Jets this year, you're gonna have to be in a kind of like a mode where you just watch and react in a sense. And so if you're watching and they looking good, maybe you might want to hop on them the next week. But you got to really read the vibes with this team as well. Like last year when they were getting beat up on and still hadn't won a game, they were still fighting and clawing in a lot of games nobody expected them to be in. And this team was a dog of double digits about 7 times last year as well, too. So, the Jets can only go up from here. And Salah is the man. I don't think that they win only 2 games this year, but I don't think they can win 6. I think they're somewhere right in the middle, 4 to 5 wins this year. And I think the Jets will be building something for the future as well, too. Wilson, if you don't rush him and things of that nature, he could possibly be a Steve Young type. He's went to Brigham Young, and he has a lot of skills as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but there it is, the Jets led by Coach Robert Saleh, and they have rookie quarterback Zach Wilson up under him. The Sam Darnold project didn't work out, and I thought that maybe they could have stuck around with Sam for another year, but I do understand why they moved on. You're in this league to win football games, not just to show up and say that you have a high draft spot. You have to show up and win the game. You know what I mean? And I know Sam had a few good games with New York, but it wasn't enough to keep his job in New York. So at the end of the day, the Jets know what time it is. Everything is based on improvement for the Jets this year. If they're not able to get to that next phase, that next level, then they will probably go ahead and go back to the drawing board and see exactly what they need to do to fix this franchise, because it's a pretty ugly situation right now with the Jets, who haven't even sniffed the playoffs in the last 10 years. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And with that, we're going to be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and I'll be right back at you.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back, and it is time to talk about the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, they did pretty good yesterday. They came back late But they had a tough time with the Pirates yesterday, and I did say on the show that the Dodgers have had issues with the bad teams in the MLB. They don't lose to them necessarily, but they have games that are way too close for comfort for the average Dodger fan. And you know what? Those games sometimes are good games for you to measure yourself and get better as you go. But the Pirates really are a team that the Dodgers should have no issues with. But it's understandable. The Dodgers did have to fly from New York in a late evening game. So, that game was over about 11 o'clock. So then they went straight to the airport to fly back to LA. That's a 5-hour flight. So they didn't get as much rest as they should have. So pretty much what the Dodgers are doing now is pretty much trying to go through the motions real quick, but get themselves a good little win here because they're trying to stay on pace to catch the Giants and everything like that. A lot of people have already said, forget about it. The Giants aren't going to get caught. But I don't necessarily agree with that because I think that what happens is that the Giants' schedule is going to get a lot tougher than it's been as of late, and they're going to find themselves in a position where, pretty much they start slipping on games because there's going to be certain guys that are not going to be in the lineup, pretty much because how things work. But at the end of the day, though, the Dodgers just need to take care of their business, and they should be in a good place. Last night, Jason McKinney hit a big home run to tie the game, and then in the late evening of the game, the Dodgers went ahead and took care of their business with a Max Muncy homer, that go-ahead home run that was an absolute gem, an absolute just monster home run that was hit last night. So the Dodgers, all in all, they look to be going in the right direction. You don't want the Dodgers to really play that wild card game because it's a one game and you're in the situation. So if they were to lose that game, they're automatically out. So, the Dodgers are trying their damnedest to get to that spot so then they can be comfortable once again and actually get a record number of division titles as well too. The Dodgers haven't lost the division title situation in like a decade. So they're still there. They're still moving, and we're gonna see how it goes. And there's a little update on Jared Bauer. Not Jared Bauer, I'm sorry, but on Bauer. And Bauer is pretty much done, man. You know what I mean? Let's just all kind of just get ourselves aligned with that. I thought that possibly he could come back, but I think that you got to think about next year about him coming back, and the Dodgers probably will never bring him back to their organization because they can go ahead and get assets for him as well too. So I think that all in all, you don't need to talk about Bauer anymore because he's been replaced by Mad Max. So pretty much tonight should be a good game at the Ravine. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I do like what I see tonight. I think the Dodgers are in better shape tonight than they were in the previous game. So this is why I think that pretty much the Dodgers shouldn't have any issues tonight. But I say this, and then you'll see the Pirates be absolutely incredible tonight. But you got David Price on the mound. I know he's been struggling a little bit, but I think that he'll be good tonight, to be honest with you, okay? So there it is, Dodgers and Pirates tonight. This is Blue Crew Daily, and I'm going to move on and talk about some MLB preview right now. It's the MLB preview. So with the MLB preview, we have ourselves our first game up. Gotta go back to the throwback style, y'all. Hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We had a great run, but all right. So we find ourselves in our first game today. Our first game is going to be the Angels at the Tigers. The Angels at the Tigers seem to be a pretty good matchup. You have yourself two teams that are going in directions where they're just working on being better organizations in a sense. You know what I mean? So pretty much you have these two Angels, Tigers. You got Dylan Bundy on the mound for them today. And then you have Casey Mize on the mound for the Tigers. So you got two middling pitchers today, but when you look at Bundy's ERA, he's a pitcher that gets hit a lot. But you know what? If Dylan Bundy is on, he can be a very, very vital pitcher as well, too. He can be very good for you. But it all depends on how he starts the game. And I think that pretty much today is a day where he should start this game off pretty good. And I think that the Tigers are in a little bit of trouble right here. I think the Angels, after coming off of a tough situation yesterday, had to fly into New York yesterday. Had to fly into New York, lose the game by 1 run, then had to fly to Detroit, a team that got absolutely blasted on Sunday, 0-11. Wound up losing the series against Cleveland as well, too. But they did a great job of sweeping the Orioles. So they've been good against the really, really bad teams. And the Angels aren't really one of the bad teams, but the Angels are middling. So Detroit does have a shot here, but I think that the Angels needed a sigh of relief because they've been playing some tough games against some tough franchises lately, and they need something like this to kind of put them in a good place. And I think that tonight they should be pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. We have the Braves at the Marlins in a divisional game tonight. I think that this one will work out very well for bettors tonight. This one is one where you can take either side if you like, because both these teams are, playing some cool baseball right now. But I think that the way that both these teams have been hitting as of lately, the over should be a good play. You're getting over 7.5 here for this game as well, too. So we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it shakes out. But I think that we're on to something here with the over-under situation. So with whichever you like, you can circle. But I think that the over could be a good investment here for you in this game. So that's where I'm going with this, and we'll go from there. So pretty much next up, we have ourselves the Orioles and the Rays. This is going to be a divisional East. This is going to be a AL East divisional game. Yesterday, the Rays blew away the Orioles, but we ain't surprised, because the Orioles just been absolutely pathetic this year. And, they've had their moments, and pretty much I heard somebody say the other day that, that they just in tank mode. And I said, damn, they got some pretty good players over there, Mancini, all these guys, they can all play. But thing is, though, it's just not working out the way that it's supposed to here. And so the Rays are in a position now where, the Orioles are in a position now where, they're just surviving. And, you hate to see that in pro sports, but sometimes it is what it is, man. You just don't have the personnel to keep up with everybody else, but you're building something here with key core players as well. So that's something to go ahead and look at, and that's something to go ahead and kind of admire as well, too. So, you can't be too mad at the honestly, you can't be too mad at the Orioles. They're just doing what they have to do to get back to the top as well, too. So, pretty much I think that when you do things like this, you better be winning. But the funny part about it is the Orioles have done this like the last 20 years, and it really hasn't worked. They were able to get Manny Machado. They were able to get Waiters. They were able to get good prospects, good players down the road, but it hasn't worked out the way that they envisioned it. So that's why I tell myself that maybe this might be something that you might not want to keep doing, because when the Orioles actually had a chance, they were actually investing in free agents and things like that. They had Robbie Alomar Jr. to go match up with Cal Ripken Jr. They had a lot of really good players. They even had Albert Bell at one point. They had a lot of things going very well in their situation, and they were like neck to neck with the Yankees for a minute there, but the Yankees kept getting the best of them. So, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, that's all in the past, but that's something that was fairly helpful for this team as well, too, where they weren't living off of what prospects is going to be really good, So pretty much what we do here is that we take ourselves into this situation, and we tell ourselves that, the Rays should not have any issues here. And that's how I'm feeling here, is that the Rays won't have any issues here. So that's what I'm going to do here is take the Rays with the 1.5. I'm not even going to pull no punches. I know I just had a long-winded speech about the Orioles, but you know what? Today is not an Orioles day. I think that what happens is they light John Means up, and this is crazy because John Means is actually a pitcher that pitched a no-hitter this year as well, too. That's what just kills me is that the guy pitched a no-hitter, and nobody really knows that. But the thing is, though, what happens here is that, you guys got a guy who is going through the motions because he doesn't play for a good team. It's just that simple. And so that's just what we have to deal with at the end of the day is that, we're going a team that's really doesn't care about where they're going. Maybe they might get a good win today. Maybe they might not. Maybe, it's a lot of maybes. But with the Rays, I know that they're in a race and they're trying to win this race. So that's why I'm going to take the Rays to go ahead and, get busy today. So let's see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move from there. And we are now going to talk about the Brewers and the Cardinals. The Brewers and the Cardinals should be a good one. You got a Brewers team coming in here minus 160 today. Cardinals are plus 135. You have a intriguing pitching matchup as well, too. You have Adam Wainwright pitching today against Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns is one of the best pitchers on the Brewers right now. And then you have Adam Wainwright, the good veteran that they did not get rid of either as well. That was kind of incredible that they didn't get rid of Adam Wainwright because I thought that they were. That's the whole thing. Seriously, to be honest with you, I thought that he was out the door at some point, during the trade deadline, but they wasn't having any of that. So he's still here. And I think that he's going to be good for an upset today. And I actually have the Cardinals paid as one of my value bets today, and I had them as my dog of the day at plus 140. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out, see if the old Wiley vet can get us a good win today. All right, so we move on, and we have ourselves the Indians and the Twins, another divisional game as well. Indians dropped the game yesterday. Very close game as well, too. They lost that game 5-4. And pretty much trying to bounce back today. And we had them yesterday as well, too, with the plus 105. But, today they're on the pick 6. And pretty much the under 9.5 looks really intriguing to me with the Indians and Twins. I know the pitchers do give up a lot of runs and things like that. But today I think that it's going to be a little bit of a shortage of hitting. You know what I mean? Where it's going to be a little bit of over aggressiveness today. And I think what happens is that this game falls up under the 9.5. Then we end the night with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. The Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Phillies coming in here minus 120. Diamondbacks plus 100. This is a spot that the Diamondbacks trying to relish in. It's an opening game of a series as well, too. You got the Phillies flying from back east. Phillies are kind of struggling right now as well, too. Diamondbacks can take advantage of them struggling as well. So I think that what you do here is you say to yourself, you're not going to take the Diamondbacks to win the game, but you take the Diamondbacks on a spread today to keep the game close. So we'll see how it goes with the plus 1.5 on the Diamondbacks, and we'll just go from there. Now, let's go ahead and check out the Primetime Pick 6. Primetime Pick 6 is going to be actually a very, very good ticket today. We're going to be going with the Angels, as I said before, plus 115. The over 7.5 with the Braves and the Marlins. Spread on the Rays today, minus 1.5. And then we also have the Cardinals with the plus 140 today. And then we have the under 9.5 with the Twins. And then we have the plus 1.5 with the Diamondbacks today. Single what you like. This is going to be a 56-1 ticket, I think. And I really do like where we're going to. The places, the faces that know you. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a good day today. And hopefully we go ahead and hit 56-1 before we walk out, before we go to Vegas. Okay, so that'd be nice. And then tomorrow, don't worry, I'll do a little video, or I'll have the pick 6 ready for you. I know it's going to be an early day tomorrow with traveling and everything like that. So I'll try to get you guys an early ticket and then a late ticket as well, too, for MLB. So you guys be on the lookout. I should have some good content for you as well too when we get to the press conference tomorrow as well. So you guys be on the lookout for that. Going to be going live on IG a few times. So try to hop in, ask you questions and everything like that. And I'll see if what I can do when I'm interviewing some of these boxers and see if I can answer some questions. So I see if I get some questions answered for you guys. Okay. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you guys are trying to catch the replay, it will be available on my IG, DBICWave_. Also will be available on the Prime Wave Media Network on YouTube as well. And so you guys pretty much can't miss the show because there's plenty of ways to watch it. So you guys tune in if you missed out on the show today. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. You guys are the absolute best, as I always say. If you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. And the movement is moving. So, man, you guys be good. I'll be back to you guys very soon. I confirm exactly what the next show day is going to be. If not Friday, then we'll be back for sure Monday with bells with our mind on our money and our money on our mind. So I look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys make sure to keep tuning in. You guys are the absolute best. Until then, I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.